Sensible, focused on duty, and respectful of both tradition and the past, ESTJs favor straightforward, direct, no-nonsense statements and information.
A moving buddy. If you don't have one, get one!
Like all the videos in this series, I aim to get you inside your character's head in order to assist you in portraying fictional characters that feel real, identifiable, and organic by outlining each of the 16 Jungian personality archetypes.
Freud and Jung, book me?
However, this will only give you an outline, and a personality type does not a character make. Hopefully by the end of this video you will better understand how the ESTJ processes and values information and how this affects their behavior, decision-making, and communication style, so that you can then add motivations, backstory, interests, relationships, and likely personality quirks to result in a more organically complete character that your audience will connect with. I'll give you the outline, and then you can fill it in. If your ESTJ character had a favorite saying, it would probably be something along the lines of, "Hard work builds character. If it works, don't fix it," or "You reap what you sow." They develop a very clear idea of what is wrong, what is right, and what is socially acceptable, then proceed from there to follow the rules and to create order and efficiency in their lives. These are typically aggressively ambitious individuals who have a very clear idea of what works in the long run.
I always win, Jack.
And lower away evenly, lads!
One way or another.
What's that trim? Trim that boat!
ESTJs value responsibility and results more than anything else and will look to what has worked in the past to figure out what will work in the future. Therefore, they tend to be traditionalists, and when confronted with a new way of doing things, they can have a knee-jerk reaction of both panic and stress. The very suggestion of doing things a different way is suggesting that their original way wasn't good enough, and trying something new risks their comfortable reliability and guaranteed results model. ESTJs usually have difficulty with the concept that there may be more than one right way of doing things, and may call out the deviants for not getting into line with the one correct way.
Crush it, don't cut it.
No, the instructions specifically say to cut.
Others can easily see this as being stubborn and inflexible, but this sense of there being only one right way to do things is at the core of the ESTJ belief system, and when presented with evidence that directly challenges this instinctive belief, the ESTJ is likely to respond with insecurity. ESTJs seek to develop internal conclusions of what the logical rules of their environment are, and then are compelled to live by these rules so long as the reasoning remains sound. While typically rigid in their behavior, ESTJs can be incredibly adaptable so long as they are able to reason out new conclusions and logical reasons as to why the rules must change. If they cannot reason out a satisfactory change, then they likely will feel the need to continue to live by the rules even if their inner feelings object to it, as they see sentimentality as a weakness.
You could come with me.
Come with you. You mean that?
Why not? We could just get in the car and drive, and no one would miss us. We could take turns driving, keep each other awake. You're going to die if you stay here.
I guess I might.
When I think that something could happen to you, it feels bad inside, like I might vomit.
Welcome to the world of romance.
It's horrible.
ESTJ problem solving usually takes on the strategy of eliminating fluff and extraneous waste.
Waste of deck space as it is in an unsinkable ship.
While they can seem to be exceptionally detail-oriented, they typically have large blind spots in their vision. An ESTJ will focus on the details of things they have determined to be worth focusing on, but will usually be blind to the bulk of the detail and possibilities around them. This particular combination of valuing what has worked in the past and wanting to stick with known methods of what works while trying to problem solve is best illustrated with a scene from Disney's The Lion King. Both Simba and Nala are ESTJs. Simba believes he is a bad person, as evidenced by his murdering his own father, and that the most responsible thing he can do is to stay away. He wants to protect his family and thinks he is doing that by not being there, while Nala is upset that he has abandoned his responsibilities. Both of their reasonings here is important to understand their deeper motivations. Neither Simba nor Nala is concerned with Scar being the king per se, only that Scar has been irresponsible with his duties as king and therefore should be overthrown.
Simba, he let the hyenas take over the Pride Lands.
What?
Everything's destroyed. There's no food, no water. Simba, if you don't do something soon, everyone will starve.
Scar being a bad person or being downright evil is irrelevant to them. He has allowed, through his actions, for those he is responsible for to suffer, and that's why we have a problem. Simba, despite having abandoned and neglected his pride for years, has a traditionally valid claim on the throne, therefore it must be him that challenges Scar. Both Nala and Simba take this as a given. What always struck me as odd, even as a kid, is that at no point do any of the lionesses try to challenge Scar and take over the throne. There's a whole bunch of them, and they aren't exactly dainty little things. At no point does anyone say, "Hey, this Scar situation might be a good example of how our current monarchy system puts too much power into the hands of one individual. Let's get rid of this guy and establish a constitutional republic instead."
Great idea! Who needs a king? No king, no king, la 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 la!
But no, both Nala and Simba are so sure that their one right way of a rightful heir to the monarchy is the only way to fix the problem that it never even occurs to them to explore other options. And it is this devotion to duty and responsibility that allows Simba to overcome his emotional hang-ups and return home. Another point to take from this interaction is that at no point do either of these ESTJs share what they want or ask what the other wants. Their only concern is what they should do and what the other should do. ESTJs are notoriously bad at figuring out what they want. As an adult, Simba never expresses any real desire to rule or to be king. He did as a child, but that primarily focused on being allowed greater freedoms of autonomy that all children yearn for, and not from any real desire to effect change or to be in charge. Both Simba and Nala, true to their ESTJ nature, are not motivated to do anything based on their own internal desires.
Well, what about you? You left?
I left to find help.
When they decide to risk their lives in order to take the throne, they do it
Because it's your responsibility.
ESTJs expect this same dedication from others and will get frustrated when presented with excuses or emotional arguments about why someone didn't just hunker down and do the work needed to achieve what they wanted to achieve. To the ESTJ, this is an inexcusable avoidance of responsibility, and it is just lazy and whiny. They're usually pretty good about getting into a routine that takes care of everyday life needs, and not surprisingly, ESTJs have a very real tendency to be physically fit and are more likely than other types to regularly spend time in a structured gym or fitness environment. To the ESTJ, the world simply is as it is, and any attempt to filter that through subjective and irrational emotions is both counterintuitive and just a waste of time. To succeed, one must deal with the world as it is and on its terms, rather than trying to make the world fit into your own terms. So suck it up, Buttercup. ESTJs deal with the facts directly as they present themselves and without any seeming unifying strategy. For the ESTJ, there is no universal system, only the facts as they are in the environment that they are. So their strategies can change rapidly, and they can pursue vastly different goals when new data and information presents itself.
ID.
I'm 1120 years old. Just give me a frickin' beer.
ID.
Give me a Coke.
The universe is going to do what the universe wants to do, so best to just admit that you're along for the ride and do your best with it. ESTJs are not at all concerned with how things should work, only with how they do work. This results in exceptionally organized individuals who value both efficiency and effective routine. On the flip side of this, however, is a deep curiosity for the world around them. They enjoy new experiences, particularly experiences that stimulate one or more of their five senses, and are usually open to trying new things so long as it is responsible to do so, or so long as they have consciously decided that they are willing to take the risk and to deal with the consequences of breaking the rules. Wanton recklessness and irresponsibility are alien languages to the ESTJ. Friendships are usually formed from external factors like routine and common interests rather than from more intimate factors. But ESTJs do tend to have full social calendars and will happily bring their friends along for the ride.
It's me, you, and the big guy.
No, Tim, only Hulk.
It's me and you.
Their preferred communication style is direct and concise. Their speech patterns will show an economy of words and a get directly to the point style.
Cordelia, have you actually ever heard of tact?
Tact is just not saying true stuff.
They say what they mean and they mean what they say. This can and often does cause them to become the butt of others' jokes when they instinctively expect the same communication style from others and take something sardonic at face value.
Wait, what does this one do?
It asks endless questions of those with whom it's supposed to be working so that nothing is getting done.
Boy, there's a demon for everything.
I need to repair my turbo boosters. Do people still use fossil fuels, or have you discovered crystallic fusion?
Well, let's see. We got double A's.
They certainly can and do appreciate dry sarcasm. It just takes them an extra mental beat to get it. Their particular style of humor can often take a bigoted or offensive flavor as they seek to cleverly poke fun of those who cannot handle the truth.
I brought you a proposal from Rob Stark.
Who gave you those clothes? Was it Ned Stark's pleasure to make you his daughter?
Knowing full well that their statements will be taken as offensive.
You do this every night? Every time I close out the cash register. The dance of capitalist superiority. What?
ESTJs have trouble taking into account that others' personal values, when different from their own, still have value, and thus they can have difficulty mustering up the motivation to not be dismissive and to not plow over others' feelings. This often causes their well-meaning jokes to fall flat.
Are you sure that's a real spell? Well, it's not very good, is it?
Their humor will be shocking, ironic, and often cutting in its delivery and linguistic cleverness.
Well, I was using the phrase, watch her back, as a euphemism for looking at her butt.
ESTJs are people who often rub other people the wrong way.
It's a very, very interesting theory. I have a simpler one. You're all not worthy.
I've set my laser from stun to kill.
Ah, great. Yeah, and if anyone attacks us, we can blink them to death.
That's amazing. You could almost pass for a gentleman.
Almost.
It's extraordinary.
They will often have an interest or yearning for a more mystical and spiritual understanding, but are naturally so cautious about being taken in by sentimentality that any foray will come only in rare spikes of indulgence when the mood strikes, and will likely pass just as quickly as they came. This can result in what appears from the outside as an all-or-nothing emotional reaction. The ESTJ seems to feel nothing until they suddenly feel everything. Other personality types can often come to the realization at these moments that the ESTJ is usually hard and reserved because they feel so intensely and aren't sure what to do with those feelings, and not because they don't feel at all. They usually have an intense distaste for emotional reactions in general and may see emotional expression or compromise as a sign of weakness in themselves and in others. They resist showing their emotions externally, but of course they feel just as intensely as any other personality type. This will almost always manifest in a mirror reaction within themselves where they will question their own morality and whether or not they are good people, and that maybe even with all their hard work, they are still not deserving of the things that good people are deserving of. This is usually the root of their greatest insecurities.
She's a nightmare, honestly. No wonder she hasn't got any friends. I think she heard you.
Why would Andy ever want to play with me when he's got you?
You are unworthy of these realms. You're unworthy of your title. You're unworthy of the loved ones you have betrayed. I now take from you your power. In the name of my father His father before! I own it all, father! Cut you off!
On top of this insecurity is their constant worry that they're not smart enough, or that their facts and opinions are not correct, or that they have missed some huge and glaringly obvious flaw in their logic or thought process that invalidates their opinions. They are highly driven to seek secondary external sources of confirmation for any opinions or information they hold, and this normally results in them placing a great deal of importance on things like credentials, certifications, degrees, and reputations, whether it be their own or others. First impressions are also something that ESTJs struggle with in this regard. Without any extra information about an individual other than a first impression, ESTJs have a tendency to be exceptionally shallow and may dismiss someone entirely for not being well dressed or having messy hair or for any other minor social infraction.
Sorry, howdy. My name is Woody, and this is Andy's room. That's all I wanted to say. And also, there has been a bit of a mix-up. This is my spot, see? The bed here.
Local law enforcement. It's about time you got here. I'm Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger, Universe Protection Unit. My ship has crash-landed here by mistake.
Yes, it is a mistake, because you see, the bed here is my spot.
On the flip side, if someone makes a very good first impression, then the ESTJ may be easily taken in and can get themselves into trouble by making unwise decisions.
Adaptability is real? Seriously? I mean, that place is a legend. They make the most powerful, horrific weapons to ever torment the universe. I would very much like to go there, please.
The rabbit is correct, and clearly the smartest among you.
Rabbit?
Only Eitri the dwarf can make me the weapon I need. I assume you're the captain, sir?
You're very perceptive.
You seem like a noble leader. Will you join me on my quest to Nidalee?
Let me just ask the captain. Oh, wait a second. It's me. Yeah, I'll go.
Wonderful.
ESTJs don't know what they personally want, at least not until later in life. And this manifests in numerous ways, from not being able to decide where to go for lunch all the way up to being apathetic about their royal birthright. Because they don't know what they want, they value what others want, so long as they feel that those around them are worthy of respect and admiration. Add into this their natural and intense curiosity, and you may get an ESTJ taken in by a salesman who then makes unwise financial decisions. And an ESTJ who does not feel secure or respected in the relationship may find themselves in a string of extramarital affairs. It's only after the ESTJ has experienced a path that they can then decide if they want to take it or not, and this takes time and maturity.
Wanted.
Good luck in England.
Yes, thank you. I'll drop you a line sometime.
That'd be neat.
So they may show a pattern of starting things and then later disengaging without finishing anything, and this can be very frustrating for both themselves and others. ESTJs are inherently loyal individuals. However, they greatly resent when that loyalty is not respected and can easily become resentful of it. If the ESTJ feels they have done their part and shown their loyalty,
You know, there's nothing I couldn't give you. There's nothing I'd deny you. If you would not deny me.
but still their dedication is not respected or is dismissed, the ESTJ will become resentful and is quite able to hold a grudge and seek to find their comeuppance in some act of poetic justice. The portrayed ESTJ is also fully capable of snapping into an I don't give a damn what the consequences are revenge mode. An ESTJ villain is likely to be motivated by directed apathy and resentment. If they feel that no one thinks they are a good person, if everyone around them thinks they are greedy or selfish, if the ESTJ does not feel valued, then why should they even try? They will respond with a my way or the highway mentality where if they don't get to feel valued, then no one does. One can expect their rationale and thought process to be structured around a rigid traditionalism that only takes into account their own needs and desires.
No man gives me a crown I pay the iron price. I will take my crown. But that is who I am. That is who we have always been.
The ESTJ villain will be heartless and cruel. It's their way or the highway, and it's not their job to make anyone else feel good.
My fiancé! Yes, you are, and my wife in practice, if not yet by law, so you will honor me. You will honor me the way a wife is required to honor a husband. Because I will not be made out of fools. Is this in any way unclear?
No.
Good. Excuse me.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you have found this video valuable. I'll be posting this series every Thursday, so if there is a personality type you'd like to see, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to move it up in the schedule.
Because that's what heroes do.
After we get through all 16 archetypes, I'll be posting a few videos on how to determine which type would work best for your story, based on the type of story you are telling and what you need that particular character to do within that story. So hit that subscribe button if that's something you would like to see. Until then, thank you again and have a great day.